to see your 14-game winning streak in the way it did against Logan. You had Logan on the in your grasp, and then you let it slip away and couldn't capitalize on it. And then same at Nitro. They had Nitro in their grasp, and they let it slip away. And it comes back to Chapmanville back-to-back losses, their first consecutive losses of the entire season. But they ended up battling back. They went on the road to Charleston Catholic, who were up against Jonah DeCoco, but in the second batter of the game, Jonah DeCoco got injured, and
and the Tigers do battle for the second time this season. Chapmanville looking for the season sweep of their county rivals. And that pitch is inside for a call strike, 1-1 to count.
That second pitch there looked like it almost hit Atkins, but good placement there by Joey Canterbury to catch that outside corner to even up the count at 1 apiece.
1-1 on the way, and Atkins will watch it in the dirt. So 2-1 to count to the left fielder for the Man High School Hillbillies.
And, Bill, we have to know it's important for Maine to get these runners on like they did last time. They tried to jump up early and get that big lead on Chapmanville, see if they can hold it.
Pitch is a called strike at the knees, 2-2 the count to Jace Atkins as Chapmanville jumped out to an early 2-0 lead the last time these two teams played, but the Hillbillies planted 4 runs in the second as Atkins swings and fouls it out of play. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Man with that 4-run second took a 4-2 lead, and that was short-lived as Andrew Farley blasted a 3-run home run onto the tennis courts at Man that really turned the tide of that contest as Chapmanville went on to win. Pitch upstairs for a ball, 3-2 now to count.
That's all it took was one pitch, one swing from Andrew Farley to get a hold of that ball and send it to the tennis courts. Luckily, no one was hurt at the tennis courts when he swung at that one. Now let's see if Man can jump up early against Chapmanville.
Pitch is inside, ball 4, and the leadoff runner is aboard for the Man High School Hillbillies, and the right fielder, Colton Miller, will be the batter.
And usually from the past, we've seen for the past 2 seasons that Colton Miller has always, or past season, we've seen Colton Miller batting him at the bottom of the lineup, but they want to use his speed and take advantage against the Chapmanville Tigers, so they moved him up to number 2 and see if he can lay down a bunt to move Atkins over in scoring position.
Pitch is inside for a ball, 1-0 the count to Miller, setting the defensive lineup for the Chapmanville Tigers. In the outfield from left to right, Luke Knight in left, Trey Butcher, your center fielder, Lucas Price in right. The 1-0 pitch on the way, and Miller takes a pitch in the dirt. 2-0 now the count to Colton Miller. On the diamond for the Chapmanville Tigers on the left side, Braylon Moore is your third baseman. Shortstop is Brody Dalton over on the right side. Second base, Eli Surgoin. Andrew Farley at first base. Talon Thompson catching for Canterbury. And Miller taking all the way, takes a strike, 2-1 to count.
Miller, this would be big to get him on base, to have a runner already in scoring position with no outs, and then we know Bo Thompson can put one deep in the yard and put one into the gap. So right now Miller just have to know he's got to get Atkins in scoring position.
2-1, Atkins goes, Miller squares the bunt, bunts foul, so Atkins will have to retreat back to first base. 2-2 the count.
This would be a big strikeout for Joey Canterbury to get Miller out and to keep that runner at first, because if you can get runners on for Man, then you can put pressure on Joey Canterbury, and they know they like the lineup they've had in the top 5 for Man. They can hit the ball, and they can score some runs from that top of the lineup.
Colton Miller swings and misses at the 2-2, and that's the first out of the top of the first inning for the Hillbillies. Strikeout number 1 for Canterbury. Bo Thompson, the shortstop, the batter.
Big strikeout for Joey Canterbury to get Miller out, and now that leaves that runner at first, and Bo Thompson is coming to the plate. Bill, this is if Joey Canterbury works like this, Man's going to be in a long day if they can't get runners to move over off of the pitching of Joey Canterbury.
Throw over, nothing doing as Atkins dives back in safely. Thompson on the year for the Hillbillies, hitting .486. Takes a pitch upstairs for a ball, 1-0 to count. May actually been a pitch out there. Couldn't quite tell, or maybe Thompson and Canterbury got crossed up on the sign.
Whatever the sign is, we know Jace Atkins has legs to steal to second, and so Canterbury's keeping an eye on him.
Thompson swings and pops one up down the left field line. The left fielder, Knight, will give chase, but it will push out a play. 1-1 to count to Bo Thompson.
That ball just sailed just out where luckily no one can grab it for Chapmanville. Bo has new life with a 1-1 count, and you can't ill afford to have another out right here with a big opportunity happening in the first batter with Jace Atkins getting on.
1-1, 1 out. Pitch on the way is outside corner, just missed. 2 balls, 1 strike to count to Bo Thompson, the shortstop. Again, hitting .486 on the season for the Man High School Hillbillies, 3 home runs and 20 RBIs. Canterbury set and pitch. Now they got Atkins picked off over to first base. Now over to the shortstop, Dalton. Dalton will run him back, and tag will be applied by the catcher, Talon Thompson. So Jace Atkins is picked off at first base. If you're scoring at home, the play goes 1-3-6-2.
And good job by Chapmanville to execute that. They got Atkins off the base. He was caught in no man's land, so big opportunity blown there for the Hillbillies, getting a runner out. And now, with 2 outs, they have a chance to sit down the side.
Thompson swings and misses at the 2-1. 2-2, the count evens up. As Canterbury 1 pitch away from retiring the Hillbillies. And that pitch popped up on the infield. Brody Dalton ventures out into the grass, calls off the center fielder, Trey Butcher, and makes the catch for out number 3 in the top half of the first inning. Nothing doing for the Hillbillies as they get a base runner, but he is erased by the pickoff, and they go down in order after that. No score from Ted Ellis Field in Chapmanville, West Virginia, between Man and Chapmanville. This is Chapmanville Tigers baseball on WVOW and Video Productions.
Thornhill GM Superstore. It's Sydney and Chevy truck season has arrived with available 0% APR for 36 months on new Chevy Silverado, plus 120-day payment deferral. Get your Chevy at Thornhill.
Enjoying life and all it has to offer is easier when you're healthy. For decades, Logan Regional Medical Center has been providing personal, compassionate care close to home. Our trusted team of primary care providers with offices in Chapmanville, Holden, and Logan are committed to improving life and health in this community we all love. That's why we're here. Logan Regional Medical Center.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich is the combination of the warm, soft bun against this delicious piece of chicken. The bun is just this soft little hug around the chicken that's so perfect in every bite.
One of the powertrain warranty on most all vehicles. Thornhill Ford Lincoln. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and
Bottom of the first from Ted Ellis Field in Chapmanville, West Virginia. Luke Knight, the batter, fouls the first pitch off, takes a pitch inside for a ball. 1-1 the count. Knight, the leadoff hitter for the Chapmanville Tigers, batting .410 on the season. He is 34 for 83 with a home run and 17 RBIs for the Tigers. Pitch on the way, swung on a miss. 1-2 the count to Luke Knight. Rest of the lineup for the Chapmanville Tigers against Man High School starting pitcher Braden Compton. Catcher Talon Thompson hits second. Shortstop Brody Dalton bats third. Trey Butcher's in the cleanup spot and will play center field. First baseman Andrew Farley bats fifth. The pitch on the way, swung on, hit in the right field for a base hit, and Tigers have the leadoff runner aboard as Luke Knight has his 35th hit of the season. The rest of the lineup, batting sixth, Joey Canterbury, the pitcher. Jacob Topping is the designated hitter, and he bats seventh for the right fielder, Lucas Price. Batting eighth as a third baseman, Braylon Moore, and Eli Surgoin, the second baseman, hits ninth. And Talon Thompson steps in the box as Knight gets a lead off first base. He gets another step, now steps back, throw over, nothing doing. The ball gets by first baseman, and Dickerson doesn't know where the ball's at, and Knight's going to at least reach third, or reach second. He may head for third. He will indeed cruise into third base. So a two-base error on the first baseman. Daniel, I would have to imagine that was a ball that should have been caught by the first baseman.
It should have been caught, but just what Luke Knight brings to the table with his speed, it can throw someone off, trying to pick him off as fast as possible. It's hard to pick off Luke Knight at first base, and he just showed right there on our if we had an instant replay that he is just fast as me. And Bill, what happened with Luke Knight against Braden Compton last time these two teams, Luke Knight faced Compton his first at bat. Knight put one over the left field wall down at man. It wasn't a home run this time, but it was a base hit, and now Talon Thompson has an opportunity to bring home Luke Knight now at third.
Yeah, Talon Thompson's hitting .407 on the year, 35 for 86, no home runs, 19 RBIs, and his first pitch is a ball, 1-0 the count. Thompson also has 10 doubles on the season. He had a double off of Charleston Catholic ace Jonah DeCoco. The second at bat of the game, DeCoco left with stiffness in his back as that pitch is swung on and fouled off the screen. 1-1 the count. DeCoco didn't return to the lineup for the Irish Charleston Catholic, but all indications are that it's nothing serious. In just a couple of days, he should be ready to go for the next time the Irish take the field.
Let's hope Jonah DeCoco is okay as Thompson is ready to face off of Compton.
Swung on, hit in the left field. Jace Aggins, the left fielder, camps under it. Well, should be deep enough to score the run. The throw comes in and will be cut off by the third baseman as Luke Knight scores. And a sac fly by Thompson gives the Tigers a 1-0 lead.
Talon Thompson does his job there. He hit the ball deep to Jace Atkins, deep enough. Even if I think that ball was shallow, I still think it would be enough to score the speedy Luke Knight from third. So Chapmanville jumps up early, just like what happened down at Man. 1-0 lead for the Tigers over the Hillbillies.
Brody Dalton, shortstop, the batter for the Tigers. Dalton hitting .350 on the season, 28, .480, a pair of home runs, or actually correct that, one home run, 28 RBIs for Brody Dalton. He takes a pitch in the dirt, 1-0 the count. Compton set, working from the stretch, pitch to Dalton, swung on and fouled out of play, 1-1 the count. Setting the defense for the Man High School Hillbillies in the outfield, Jace Atkins in left field, Braxton Messer in center, Colton Miller in right. On the infield diamond on the left side, John McCoy, the third baseman, Bo Thompson at short. On the right side, Gavin Klein at second base, Caden Dickerson at first base. 1-1 pitch on the way, swung on, fouled out of play. 1-2 the count. And behind the plate for the Hillbillies, Cam DeRace catching for Braden Compton, who is making his fourth start on the year. He has a 1-1 record with an earned average of .337. He has allowed 34 runs, but only 22 of those have been earned as Dalton swings and sends a charge deep into left center field. It will carry on out of the park. A solo home run for Brody Dalton, and the Tigers lead 2-0.
Bill, I was wanting to mention that Brody Dalton, West Virginia baseball, is on a hot start up there. They could be hosting a super regional, the way they keep it up with the young talent they have. And here's another man that's going to that program. That's going to go into a hot program, Brody Dalton. He just showed right there as that ball was gone. As soon as it touched the bat, Brody Dalton found the pitch he wanted, and he sent that over the left to the right center field wall. And Chapmanville has now jumped up 2-0 off on this Man Hillbillies team. Rattled start right now for Braden Compton, but we know Compton to get rattled sometimes, and he can settle in and he can get the outs when needed.
Guess I was kind of forecasting Brody Dalton's at bat. I said before the at bat he had a couple of home runs when he just had one home run. Well, 2 pitches later, he now has his second home run of the season, and that is a big sign for Chapmanville. When Dalton heats up, this Chapmanville Tiger team offensively just becomes that much more dangerous as Trey Butcher, the batter, takes a pitch outside for a ball, 1-0 the count.
And I've said all season long, Chapmanville is the best hitting team that I've seen. That's my opinion. I've seen. And Chapmanville just showed me right there with Brody Dalton's home run off of Compton. And also Andrew Farley and Luke Knight can hit a ball out. Thompson can hit the ball far. This is a very dangerous Chapmanville Tiger ball club.
Butcher takes a pitch upstairs, 2-0 the count to left-handed hitting center fielder who's hitting .435 on the season as he takes a pitch outside. 3-0 now the count. Butcher with 19 RBIs on the season. He is hitting his average .3469. He also has 7 doubles, and he's a tough cat to strike out. He's only struck out 8 times and walked 17, now make it 18 times as he gets the free pass.
And now that brings up Andrew Farley. And we know that what we saw with Brody Dalton hit one out. Andrew Farley can do it again. There, Bill, some people who are listening at home may have forgotten what Farley did during that 14-game winning streak. He went on a tear in, I think, 4 games in a row. He hit 5 home runs, and that was just unreal stretch for Andrew Farley, and he knows he could put one out of play.
And he'll swing and hit one by the third baseman, John McCoy, in left field. Aggins will field it and get it back in. Stopping at second on the single is Butcher. First and second, one man out. And the batter, Joey Canterbury, with an opportunity to help himself on the scoreboard if he's not called upon to lay down a sacrifice bunt. Farley, before that at bat, was batting .372, 29, .478. And as Daniel mentioned it, 5 home runs. That's tops on the team. And 29 RBIs, which was a team high until Brody Dalton's solo home run. Now Dalton joins him. And first pitch swing, and Canterbury lines into center field. It's going to get over the head of the center fielder, Messer, and get to the wall. Rounding third and coming in to score will be Butcher. Stopping at third is Farley, and sliding into second base with an RBI double is Joey Canterbury. Canterbury's looking here at his stats, Daniel, that's his 9th double of the season and his 15th RBI of the year. He came in at a bat hitting .263, and he gets the job done and helps himself.
And now that brings up another dangerous hitter for the Chapmanville Tigers. If you're listening, you're thinking another one? Yes, Chapmanville is dangerous 1 through 9, and here's another one. Jacob Topping coming to the plate for the Tigers. Team's ace pitcher, also one of the team's smoothest hitters.
He takes a pitch outside for a ball, 1-0 the count. As look down there to the dugout, looks like Mike Crosby is right near the dugout steps there. Don't know if Topping reaches, if Crosby or Jack Daniels, the pitching coach, will come out to talk to Compton as that pitch outside, 2-0 the count.
Bill, it's been 3 batters and only 4 pitches that Compton has thrown a strike right now. So he needs, for the young sophomore, needs to settle in and just work on this batter Topping to try to get him out, get out number 2.
Pitch swung on him is by Topping, 2-1 the count. Jacob Topping on the season, as Daniel mentioned, he is the number 1 pitcher for the Tigers. But at the plate, Topping is hitting .217. He's 15 for 69, but he does have 11 RBIs and 5 doubles as he swings at a pitch out of the zone. 2-2 the count.
And for the fans at home, meaning the smooth hitter, like when he can hit the ball, that's what I meant. He can get the RBIs. He can add some finesse to his hitting. He may get out, but he can still do the job. And right now, with 2 runners in scoring position, his job is to bring him in as any way possible.
Pitch outside, 3-2 now the count to Topping. Again, Topping with 11 RBIs, so he's had opportunities to drive in runs, and for the most part, he's taken advantage of those opportunities. And here he has an opportunity to possibly bring home 2 with a hit. As he swings, pops one up on the infield. Well, actually out of play. We'll see who wants it. And the catcher, Cam DeRace, gives chase, but won't be able to come up with the catch as it drops right in front of the Chapmanville Tigers dugout. So the count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes.
And Bill, when Cam DeRace was going to that ball, he kind of smacked his hand on the brick wall out there in the dugout. Hopefully, if you're a man, you're fortunate that he didn't do much damage to that hand, because if he goes out and he can't throw, then that's going to probably move John McCoy back behind the plate, and you're going to have to move in someone like Daniel Cantrell, Landon Cantrell into third base.
Pitch swung on, hit down the right field line. It's going to get down for a hit, and this should plate 2. Here comes Farley to score. Here comes Canterbury, actually the courtesy runner in to score for Canterbury. That's Eli Messer, and going into second base with a 2-run double is Jacob Topping, and the Tigers have erupted in the first inning for 5 runs. They now lead, 5-0.
And now Braylon Moore coming to the plate. As right now, if you're Chapmanville, you just got to be happy with how everything's going with after those 2 setback losses and a close win against Charleston Catholic. Charleston Catholic's number 1 in single A, but Chapman feels they could put more on Catholic. They're doing it right now against Man, and you got to be happy if you're Josh Rakes at how this team's playing in the first inning.
Braylon Moore looks at the first pitch for a strike, 0-1 to count. Moore the third baseman, the eighth batter in this Chapmanville lineup to come to the plate in the first inning. Moore is batting 197, 12 for 61 with 8 RBIs. Opportunity to drive in run number 9 on the season. And he looks at a 0-1 pitch for a called strike, 0-2 the count.
And Compton, he's just looking for that second out to try to get out of this inning. If he can get second out, then he can try to work on out number 3. But right now, this would be a big out for Compton if he can get it.
Pitch popped up on the infield. Bo Thompson calls everybody off, and the shortstop will make the catch for out number 2. Second baseman Eli Surgoin coming to the plate.
Eli Surgoin, a solid second baseman for Chapmanville, as he had a good shining against Logan, fielding against those heavy hitters. And we get a mound. Looks like we're going to get a mound visit from Jack Daniels, but I guess not.
Looks like we'll get a couple of balls. It did look like that Daniels was going to come out to the mound to talk to Compton, but then before he could cross the chalk, he turned and went back to the dugout, I guess realizing that there was 2 outs and the number 9 hitter. Maybe if Surgoin reaches, we may see a mound visit after this at bat if man can't get out of the inning. That pitch swung on, lined over the head of the second baseman, Gavin Klein, in the right field, as Canterbury will come in to score, and the throw is over the head of the first baseman, who happens to be the cut man, Caden Dickerson, but Surgoin doesn't advance on the play. So run number 6 on the board for the Tigers in the bottom half of the first.
Another RBI for the Chapmanville Tigers. That's a total of 5 in this inning. And Luke Knight coming back to the plate as the umpire is calling time. Don't know what's that for. Now we're going to get a mound visit from Coach Jack Daniels coming out to the mound to talk to his pitcher and catcher. Chapmanville, after that 2 straight losses and then that close win against Charleston Catholic, they're coming out on fire tonight against Man. And this is going to, if they can mercy rule Man and continue this, you're going to see a lot more coming up with Chapmanville. They're going to be a tough team to beat in sectionals.
We're actually going to get a pitching change as Compton will exit the game. Coming in to pitch is our buddy Hunter Gibson.
Hunter Gibson.
Not our WVOW studio engineer from time to time. Seth Eastep is our studio engineer tonight. But, Hunter Gibson's coming in to pitch. Gibson is the designated hitter. Now, what's going to happen here is if Gavin Klein does not come out of the contest, Compton, normally second baseman by trade, if he goes into the dugout, Compton then becomes the designated hitter, and Hunter Gibson, now the pitcher, becomes the player DH. That's recently a new rule that was adopted by the WVSSAC, and it was it was a rule that you really tied the game up, Daniel, as the coaches were trying to take their DH out of the field, put a kid in, figure out where they were going to put the pitcher. Well, now with this rule, if you have a designated hitter who's a pitcher, you can keep him in the dugout, and when it's his time to pitch, you can bring him in.
Yup, and it's looking to pay dividends for Man if they can keep if they could have kept Braden Compton in the field. I don't see Compton in the field, so it looks like he is brought out, and Hunter Gibson will now be on the mound for the Man Hillbillies, trying to get out number 3 in the first inning to this hot Chapmanville Tigers bat. And Hunter Gibson comes in a situation with only 1 runner on, but still you got the dangerous Luke Knight, who can also hit a home run for the Chapmanville Tigers. As if you're Hunter Gibson, the Man Hunter Gibson, love our studio engineer Hunter Gibson back in the WVOW studio. He's not in today, but right now Hunter Gibson just needs this big third out against Chapmanville.
Pitch in the dirt as a ball, and moving up to second base on the ball in the dirt is Surgoin. So another runner in scoring position for the Tigers, who already have 6 runs. 6 runs across the plate in this bottom of the first inning. Pitch from Gibson tonight outside, 2-0 the count. Compton through 2 1/3 innings. He got 2 outs in the top of the first. He's allowed 6 runs. He's responsible for the runner on second base. All the runs are earned as that pitch swung on a miss by Knight. 2-1 to count. 6 hits, 6 runs, 1 walk. Again, all 6 runs are earned in the top half of the first inning as Luke Knight ahead in the count. 2 balls, 1 strike, looking to put Chapmanville up 7-0 as that pitch is outside. 3-1 now the count.
Right now, Hunter Gibson just needs to get out of this jam. If you're a Man Hillbillies fan, if you're a Chapmanville Tigers fan, you love to Luke Knight to keep pouring it on to kill the confidence of Man early.
Pitch swung on a miss by Knight. 3-2 the count as the Hillbillies look to get out of the first inning and come to bat in the second inning and try to cut into this 6-0 deficit. Full count offering on the way as swung on and missed. Ball in the dirt. Good block by Gerace. He'll field and throw down to Dickerson at first base to retire the Tigers in the bottom half of the first inning. Not before Chapmanville played at 6 runs on 6 hits. There was 1 man error, 1 Tiger left on base. 1 inning in the books from Ted Ellis Field. It's Chapmanville 6 and Man 0. You're watching or listening to Chapmanville Tigers baseball on Video Productions and WVOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station.
Hi, I'm Kim Harvey.
Here at the Cracker Barrel, home-style food and great value go hand in hand, with favorites like slow-simmered chicken and dumplings starting at $7.99, or perfectly golden fluffy buttermilk pancakes with your own bottle of warm syrup. Come fill up on favorites without emptying your wallet. Cracker Barrel. Take care now.
Fall and spring with more power, more dirt, and big wheels during Ram Truck Month. It's all here on the Thornhill Motor Mile at Thornhill CDJR. We've got a great selection of new Ram 1500 model trucks, plus custom Sherrod and Rocky Ridge options. Spring into your new Ram truck from Thornhill.
You'll find there are many good reasons to buy.
Second inning from Ted Ellis Field. Chapmanville leading Man 6-0. John McCoy, the batter. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count. Bill Lusk with you. Daniel Miller, my color analyst tonight, as the 1-1 on the way. Swung on a miss by McCoy. 1-2 the count. Seth Eastepper, studio engineer back in the WVOW studios. And if you tuned in on Video Productions Thursday night and wondered where was the Chapmanville Nitro baseball game, as McCoy strikes out looking, out number 1, strikeout number 2 for the right-hander Joey Canterbury and Braxton Messer. Anyway, if you tuned in expecting to see high school baseball on Thursday on Video Productions, there was a real good reason, and I'll get to that in just a second, as our producer for Video Productions, Sydney Mayo, was at her pinning ceremony at Marshall University Nursing School. She graduated this weekend magna cum laude, and we'd like to congratulate Sydney on her accomplishments and wish her the best of luck.
Well, it'd help if I put the mic down to talk. Well, yeah, congratulations, Sydney. It's always a big honor to graduate from college. I know it took me 8 years to graduate with a master's degree after a lot of changing, but congratulations, Sydney, and whole WVOW is very proud of you.
along with VO Productions.
Pitch upstairs for a ball, and Braxton Messer draws a one-out walk. And the batter will be Caden Dickerson for the Hillbillies. That is the second walk issued by Canterbury, who also has 2 strikeouts. Again, if you're just joining us, 6-0 Chapmanville in the top half of the second inning, 1 out. Dickerson takes a strike over the heart of the plate, 0-1 the count.
And Joey Canterbury still yet to give up a hit for the Chapmanville Tigers. I'm going to knock on wood right now and make sure the Chapmanville fans, I don't jinx them right now, but Joey Canterbury doing a great job on the mound for Chapmanville.
0-2 the count as Dickerson swings and misses. Dickerson, a .348 hitter with 16 RBIs on the year for the Man High School Hillbillies. As I pull these stats up here, Dickerson is 23 for 66 on the year, and that pitch will get to the backstop and allow Messer to reach second base on the wild pitch. 1-2 the count.
And you'd love to see that for a man to get runner in scoring position at second. And now base hit here for Caden Dickerson will score the speedy Braxton Messer from second. And if you're man, you just got to take it one pitch at a time. Try to cut into this lead. You dug yourself in a hole in the first inning. They need to try to do their job to get out of it in the second.
Dickerson takes a called strike on the outside corner, I should say. So 2 away, strikeout number 3 for Canterbury, and Cam Gerace, the catcher, the batter for the Hillbillies. Gerace is hitting .297 on the season with 12 RBIs. Has an opportunity here with the hit to drive home RBI number 13 on the year. Takes a pitch low, 1-0 the count.
And Bill, where man has some young sophomore talent on this team, Gerace is one of those young talented players that he's going to have a bright future in the next 2 years for the Hillbillies.
Pitch swung on, popped up into center field. The center fielder, Butcher, comes charging in to make the catch and retire the Hillbillies in the top half of the second inning. Nothing doing for man to get a base runner, but leave him stranded. We'll head to the bottom of the second inning. Your score, Chapmanville 6, man 0. This is Chapmanville Tigers Baseball on Video Productions and WVOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station.
At Aracoma Drive.
At Logan Regional Medical Center, our comprehensive inpatient rehabilitation program helps get you back to living life. With an 8-bed unit for patients 18 and over, our caring team of doctors, nurses, and rehabilitation specialists work with you, providing a full line of services to help you restore your capabilities and get you back home and back to living. Logan Regional Medical Center, providing inpatient rehabilitation close to home.
Thornhill GM Superstore, always here for you. Go to Thornhill and find new roads to 119 in Chapmanville, your home.
Tigers. First pitch, he swings and fouls it down the play. 0-1 the count to Thompson, who had a sacrifice fly back in the first inning to drive home the first run for the Tigers, the first of 6, as that pitch is upstairs for a ball. 1-1 the count. And Bill Lusk and Daniel Miller with you live from Ted Ellis Field on Video Productions and WVOW in Logan. 1-1 on the way. Thompson takes upstairs, 2-1 the count.
And even though Thompson flew out to the left field, I'll get it in eventually. He can have the power to put one out of play, and he's going to try to look for one.
And he swings and pops this one up. The shortstop, Bo Thompson, backing into the outfield, calls everybody off, makes the catch, one away in the bottom of the second inning. And Brody Dalton, the batter, hit a solo home run over the right center field fence on a 1-2 pitch from Braden Compton. That gave Chapmanville a 2-0 lead. After that, Joey Canterbury had an RBI double to put the Tigers up 3-0. Jacob Topping added a 2-run double as the pitch swung on, hit up the first base side. Dickerson fields and will take it to the bag and beat Dalton by a couple of steps. So 2 away in the bottom of the second for the Tigers.
Brody thought about he wanted another one. He thought he wanted to put one over the fence again, but he just got a little under it, and luckily Dickerson was able to grab it and just stand on the bag. Now Trey Butcher comes to the plate, and Butcher got on with a walk, but Butcher also has the power bills. We saw some down at Logan earlier in the season that he could put it over the center fielder's head if you're not careful.
Ball upstairs, 1-0 the count to Butcher, who came around to score on Joey Canterbury's single back in the first inning. Again, that made it 3-0. Jacob Topping's 2-run double made it 5-0, scoring Farley and the courtesy runner Eli Messer. And Topping came around to score on Eli Surgoin's RBI single to make it 6-0. That's where we currently stand as 2-0 the count to Butcher. He swings and hits one to first, takes a tricky hop, but he will field and flip underhand to the pitcher, Hunter Gibson, covering to retire the Tigers in the bottom half of the second inning. It's a good inning for man relief pitcher Hunter Gibson as the Tigers do nothing and go in order. It's 2 innings in the books from Ted Ellis Field. Chapmanville 6, man 0. This is Chapmanville Tigers baseball on Video Productions and WVOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station.
Family.
Hey, it's Sydney with your total automotive experience waiting at Thornhill GM Superstore. Let's trade keys. Swing by Thornhill GM, where well-qualified buyers enjoy 3.9% APR for 60 months on new GMC Sierra 1500 models, plus no payments for 90 days.
Or maybe it's the
Top of the third inning as Braden Compton flies out on a 1-1 pitch to the right fielder Lucas Price, 1 away in the top half of the third inning. Chapmanville leading the man Hillbillies 6-0, and Hunter Gibson, the pitcher, the batter for the Hillbillies.
And after that out from Braden Compton. Joey Canterbury's trying to work on his ninth batter and get his fourth strikeout in this contest.
1-1 the count as Gibson takes the ball for the first pitch, swings and misses on the 1-0 to even up the count at 1-1. Gibson is 14 for 44. He's batting .318 with 9 RBIs as that pitch just misses. 2-1 the count. One guy that we did forget to mention, and that's not because we really forgot. That's just because the action was moving so quickly in that second inning. When we get into our crew today, Robbie Mounts, our cameraman up on top of the press box here at Ted Ellis Field, braving the elements so he can bring you the live pictures here on Video Productions. And we thank Robbie, and he told us he's got hot chocolate and hot hands up there, so he's staying warm as Gibson swings and fouls one out of play.
That's the second time that almost happened.
I'm wondering about my broadcast partner here because it looked like he was about ready to take off running out the door, and here we are in a press box.
I was going to say, am I the only one that cares about Robbie? I mean, without his equipment, we can't be on the air, but we got our WVOW equipment.
Check swing in the dirt, and that's a strike 3, and Thompson will block it, keep it in front of him, and fire down to Andrew Farley for the putout. That is strikeout number 4 for Canterbury.
And Canterbury's just working through this man lineup. The only two batters to reach base for man are Messer and Atkins. He'd like to erase what happened in the first inning and sit down Jace Atkins to get out number 3.
The aforementioned Jace Atkins at the plate for the Hillbillies takes a strike, 0-1 count. Jace Jace walked back in the first and was erased on a pickoff attempt for the second out of the first inning. Takes a pitch inside, 1-1 count. 1-1, fouled off the screen, 1-2 the count.
Canterbury's working fast. He's only thrown 43 pitches right now through 3 innings, and he sat down almost every batter he's seen except 2 when he gave up walks. But Canterbury's working on the mound right now. He's trying to work on this no-hitter, trying not to jinx him. But if he keeps it up, he might get it.
1-2 pitch, swung on, hit into center field, and it's going to get by the center fielder and roll to the fence. Jace Atkins breaks up the no-hitter as, my broadcast partner Daniel Miller is 2 for 2 now at breaking up no-hitters as he broke up Morgan Cooper's no-hitter Saturday against the Chapmanville Lady Tigers as Brooke Christian broke that one up in the 4th inning, just as Daniel was talking about the no-hitter.
Morgan Cooper, Joey Canterbury, I do apologize. I try my best not to sound like a jinx, but that's a good hit. That's a good base hit by Jace Atkins. He got on that pitch, and he sent that to the wall. Trey Butcher had no chance to get it. Now with a runner in scoring position, Colton Miller can do damage here. He can get on base with his legs, and he can also hit the ball as well.
Pitch outside as Miller shows bunt and pulls back. Don't really think Miller had any intentions there to bunt. Maybe just try to draw third baseman in close enough to see if maybe they could steal that pitch in the dirt. Snap throw down the second, nothing doing as Atkins is back in safely. 2-0 now the count.
And luckily that ball didn't get away from Brody Dalton, as if Jace Atkins would have if the ball got away from Brody Dalton, Jace Atkins could have been standing at third. But you just got to be lucky that you got a good shortstop back there. And right now Colton Miller just needs to bring in Jace Atkins to cut in this lead for man.
2-0 is at the knees for a called strike. 2-1 now the count to Colton Miller, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout back in the first inning. 6-0, Chapmanville leads 2 outs here. Top of the third as that pitch is in the dirt and gets to the screen. So advancing the third on the wild pitch is Atkins' man with the runner 90 feet away.
And, Bill, if you look at that pitch right there, Joey Canterbury took a little hesitant on the windup, looked back at second, then delivered it. And when he did that, it kind of threw him off. I'd say just threw him off just a tad, threw it into the dirt because he was trying to look to see if he could get a pickoff play back at second with Atkins. So let's see if man can take advantage of it.
The 3-1 with Canterbury working from the windup is a called strike. 3 balls, 2 strikes to count. Yeah, I'm like you, Daniel. When I was watching him, I thought maybe he was going to try to throw a back to second. That pitch inside for ball 4 and that is the third walk issued by Canterbury this evening.
Yeah, he did hesitate on that one, which now all Bo Thompson needs is just a base hit here or a pass ball, and man can score the runner from third. But now Thompson is in good position to try to bring home Atkins from third and not be shut out for the Hillbillies.
Pitch upstairs and in as it backs Thompson away from the plate. 1-0 the count. Thompson has 20 RBIs. That is second on the team behind Jace Haggins with 22. If Thompson can split a gap here, he can tie Haggins for the team lead. And that pitch in the dirt, 2-0 now the count to Bo Thompson.
And before I was mentioning the home run, Joey Canterbury, the base hit from Atkins, Joey Canterbury was working on a no-hitter. He was moving through, but then now he's got himself into quite a bit of a jam with the runner at third and first. And last thing you would want is to load the bases for a man, as John McCoy has proven this season. He's gotten better at every game. He can hit the ball, and he can score some runs. He's got 2 home runs this year for the Hillbillies. I'm assuming it's 2 home runs. I think I'm correct with 2 home runs. So right now, last thing you want for Joey Canterbury is to load the bases for John McCoy.
Thompson will swing and send a pitch in the left field. The left fielder broke in at first and now will now retreat back, as I'll get it out eventually. And that's Luke Knight to make the put out and retire the Hillbillies in the top half of the third. Man gets a hit and a walk, but leaves 2 runners stranded. We've played 2.5. We've played 2.5. It's Chapmanville 6, Man 0. This is Chapmanville Tigers baseball on Video Productions and WVOW Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station.
Enjoying life and all it has to offer is easier when you're healthy. For decades, Logan Regional Medical Center has been providing personal, compassionate care close to home. Our trusted team of primary care providers with offices in Chapmanville, Holden, and Logan are committed to improving life and health in this community we all love. That's why we're here. Logan Regional Medical Center.
What are you working for? Do you want to pursue your athletic potential while earning a degree that will benefit you for a lifetime? Do you want to play at the highest level in your sport? Do you want to be a champion? That's what the 12 proud members of the Mountain East Conference are advancing toward every day, providing opportunities and pursuing excellence. The Mountain East Conference.
Oh, good gravy. The kind made from real premium sausage. The kind that's smothered over deliciousness. The kind you can only get at Tudor's Biscuit Works. That's the gravy.
Bottom of the third from Ted Ellis Field, 6-0 Chapmanville leads. Andrew Farley, the batter, takes pitch in the dirt for a ball. 1-0 the count. The 1-0 is low as well. 2-0 the count to Farley, who is 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored.
Farley knows he can get, since he got the single, he'd love to add that home run against this Man Hillbillies team to add on to this lead as Chapmanville, I'll get it out eventually, 4 runs away from having the mercy rule on Man in this contest.
We're just in the third innings, and Chapmanville has at least 2 more at-bats to get that whole Man off of the scoreboard as Farley swings at the 2-1, pops it up to first base. Dickerson having trouble with it, will be able to snag it as he calls off Gavin Klein at the last second. 1 away, and Joey Canterbury, the batter.
And when we was in break, we were seeing replay of our cameraman Robbie Mounts protecting the equipment for the video productions, as we think we have it here on Video Productions.
Yeah, here's the
Instant
replay of the foul ball. This is the first pitch to Hunter Gibson, I believe it was, leading off the well, actually, that was Braden Compton, leading off the top of the third inning. As you see Robbie's hand come in there to protect the equipment as the batter, Joe Canterbury, takes a pitch for a strike, 0-1 to count. And the 0-1 is inside corner, called strike 2, 0-2 to Canterbury.
I'll give credit to Robbie Bounce. Whenever last time the ball came at me, I went running almost off of a dugout. As Bill knows.
Hey, I remember that well.
You remember it. Never let
that
me down
pitch
since.
swung on a miss by Canterbury. Strikeout number 1 for Hunter Gibson, and out number 2 in the bottom of the third. For the Chapmanville Tigers, Jacob Topping, the batter. Topping 1 for 1 with a 2-run double and a run scored back in the first inning.
And this is where Chapmanville blew it open when he had a 2 RBI double back in the first inning, and he'd love to repeat what he'd done back in it. Not get an RBI, but love to get another base hit for the Chapmanville Tigers to keep this inning going.
Pitch swung on and fouled back off the screen, 0-1 to count to Topping as the home plate umpire asked for and gets, looks like 3 new baseballs. So a lot of foul balls in this contest tonight, and that foul ball crew for the Chapmanville Tigers have been very, very busy tonight.
Every game we've gone, there's always been a foul ball crew, and I'll give them the credit. They get the balls, retrieve them, and they get them back in so we can keep using them, because baseballs are not cheap anymore around the country.
No, I think there's something like, what, $12 a ball now?
Yeah, $12 a ball.
That's $144 for a dozen of them.
Yeah.
I mean, back when I coached, they were like, $7.50 or $8. So they're not the only thing that's going up in price, as the 1-1 is swung on a miss by Topping, 1 and 2 to count.
I'm not a big baseball fanatic, but I'd love to see why those balls are expensive. But they are, and you need them to play the game.
Pitch upstairs, 2-2. Now the count to Topping, as Topping looking to get on base for the second time this evening. Again, this game was supposed to start at 7 p.m., but it was moved up to 6 p.m. because Man High School don't have enough players right now to field a JV team, and because of that, they were in agreement to move it up 1 hour early, and quite possibly maybe beat the weather, as 3-2 on the way is upstairs, and that is a walk to Topping, so he is aboard for the second time. And Braylon Moore, the batter.
Yeah, Mother Nature had its weird outcome today. It said it was supposed to have some medium rain and some winds. Bill, I don't see any winds out there, not as of right now, and the rain hasn't even looked like it hasn't even hit the ground.
Well, the rain is there is a puddle on this first base dugout that I see, and over on the third base dugout as well. I saw Poncho come up as Sirgoin swings and misses at the first pitch from Gibson, 0-1 to count. And Daniel, I've been here since probably right around 15 till 5, and judging by that puddle, this is the heaviest that I've seen the rain as Braylon Moore, swings and misses at the 0-1, 0-2 the count.
And just when I said I don't see rain, here it comes. As it's starting to come down just a little bit. And I don't think we'll get in the situation like what we had with Logan and Tuck Valley, so we should be in good shape.
Moore swings, chops one to third. McCoy charging field. Is he going to have a play? Not in time, as that's an infield single for Braylon Moore. His first hit of the contest, and hit number 7 for Chapmanville. And Daniel, that's the first hit for the Chapmanville Tigers since that RBI single off the bat of Eli Sirgoin that scored the 6th and final run of the first inning for the Chapmanville Tigers.
And that's when Hunter Gibson comes in to try to work these Chapmanville batters, and he's done a good job since that base hit there. Now Eli Sirgoin has an opportunity to try to do what he did back in the first.
Sirgoin takes a pitch on the outside part of the plate for a called strike, 0-1 to count. Again, I apologize to our audience on Video Productions and our listening audience on WVOW as the 0-1 pitch swung on, hit the short. Thompson will field and go to second on the short route to retire Braylon Moore. The point I was getting to is I had Moore's name covered up with my hand. When I looked down, I saw Sirgoin. That was the first name I seen. That's why I had referred to Moore as Sirgoin. But we got it corrected, and Chapmanville does nothing in this bottom half of the third inning. In fact, they get a run, they don't get a run. They get one hit and leave two stranded. 3 innings in the books. It's Chapmanville 6 and Man 0. This is Chapmanville Tigers baseball on video production and WVOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich is the combination of the warm, soft bun against this delicious piece of chicken. The bun is just this soft little hug around the chicken that's so perfect in every bite.
Adventure is blooming with every new Jeep model. Tag yours with Thornhill CDJR during the Jeep Celebration event. Now with up to $10,000 off new 2022 Jeep Gladiator or great APR offers to finance your next adventure. Spring is here at Thornhill CDJR's Jeep Celebration event.
The bun, it shouldn't be.
Top of the fourth inning, John McCoy leading off for the Man High School Hillbillies in an 0-2 hole as he swings and misses at the 0-1. Bill S. Daniel Miller with you from Ted Ellis Field. Chapmanville leading man 6-0 in the fourth. And that pitch swung on and roped foul down the third base line. Count remains 0-2.
Luckily that ball hit the fence. If not, it could have hit a fan. But
well, luckily, third base coach Jack Daniels ducked out of the way of it.
Yeah.
Quick, I mean, not a lot of time to react. Jack's one reaction was to duck, and Jack guessed correctly. As the 0-2 on the way is upstairs for a ball, 1-2 the count.
And John McCoy, who struck out his last at-bat against Joey Canterbury, he moved up to the 4 spot. He can hit the ball good for man. He'd like to do it tonight against Joey Canterbury. Hit his first hit of the ball game.
Pitch is inside for a ball, 2-2 the count. As McCoy looking to reach base for the first time this evening. Pitch upstairs, 3-2. And after falling into an 0-2 hole, McCoy has battled back, and he's now heading the count 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 pitch away from reaching base. 3-2 on its way. Swung on and belted foul down the left field line and on the hillside here at Ted Ellis Field.
On the hillside, a lower place, I probably wouldn't go because I'd be afraid of seeing a snake. So that's why I give the foul ball crew a big shout-out for what they have to do. But right now, full count to McCoy. See if he can answer with a base hit here.
Pitch is upstairs for a ball, ball 4, and that is the 4th walk issued by Canterbury. Canterbury, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, and 1 hit allowed in the contest this evening. Braxton Messer, the center fielder who walked back in the second inning, steps to the plate for the Hillbillies. Pitch on the way, swung on, and cue ball shot foul up the first base side, 0-1 to count.
Good stop by Mike Crosby. As he was able to stop that ball from getting farther away, but instead of a base hit from McCoy, he'll take a walk, and now that puts a runner on and try to put a little bit pressure on Joey Canterbury to see if man can string more base runners on.
Pitch in the dirt. It's going to get away from Thompson. Moving up to second base on the wild pitch is McCoy. As I'd have to have to imagine that that would have to be scored a wild pitch, Daniel. And if it is, that's by my count, I've got 3 issued to Canterbury in this game.
Yeah, that's a wild pitch. It bounced even before Thompson had a chance to grab it.
1-1, bunted foul by Messer. 1-2 now the count. Caden Dickerson in the on-deck circle for the Man High School Hillbillies.
And one thing we know from Man is when the graduation from this senior class, you got to think Messer is going to be taken in as probably one of the team's top 2 hitters next season for the Hillbillies, so he's going to have a bright future only as a sophomore.
1-2, swung on and hit foul down the right side and out of play. Yeah, Messer coming in to this contest was hitting .417 from Man. That is the 3rd best average on the team behind Bo Thompson, who was hitting .486 coming in, and Jace Atkins .455 as that pitch swung on, popped up behind the plate, and Talon Thompson does a nice job to get back there, find real estate, and make a basket catch for out number 1.
Good job tracking that down from Talon Thompson and get that first out. Leaves McCoy at second. Now Caden Dickerson coming up. He struck out his last at bat in the second inning, and he would love to get a base hit here to bring home McCoy, as Man's just trying to find that one little bit of spark that they have to cut into this Chapmanville 6-0 lead.
Dickerson 0 for 1 on the evening, swings and misses the first pitch, the outside part of the plate, 0-1 to count.
And Bill, since I've already jinxed the Joey Canterbury no-hitter, last time Chapmanville had a 6-0 lead was early in the season that I can remember against Robert C. Byrd. Robert C. Byrd came back, but Chapmanville's trying to avoid that one tonight.
That pitch swung on, popped up, out of play, heading up to the press box again, and it will just fall short of the press box.
He should get paid extra for all these foul balls that are coming at him. That's dangerous up there, and he's doing a good job. He saved the camera from being destroyed up there, so Robbie's doing all of his job.
0-2, swung on a miss by Dickerson, and out number 2 in the top half of the 4th inning.
Anyway,
strikeout number 5. Strikeout number 5 for Canterbury.
And now that brings up Cam Gerace. And Cam Gerace is one of those hitters for the Hillbillies. He can put one into the gap and score some runs, as Gerace is another young, talented sophomore player for this Man Hillbillies baseball team that they're going to look forward to next season when a lot of these seniors on the team graduate. He's going to move up into the rotation, into pitching and hitting.
2-out batter is Gerace, 0 for 1, a fly out to center field back in the second inning. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it off, 0-1 count.
And after that leadoff walk to John McCoy, given up by Joey Canterbury, he's really settled in. He's got the batter for Messer to pop up, and then he got Dickerson to strike out. So it's doing good for Joey Canterbury on the mound.
Pitch is inside, and Gerace checked his swing, so count remains 1 ball, 1, or the count now runs to 1 ball, 1 strike. Excuse me.
And with only 1 hit given up, again, Joey Canterbury is doing an amazing job on the mound, but Man is just trying to find that one spot that they can hit off of Joey Canterbury to get some spark into this contest for them.
That pitch upstairs for a ball, 2-1 to count. I'm sure, one thing that Coach Josh Rakes would like to deal with out is the 72 pitches that Canterbury has thrown right now through 3 2/3 innings as he's working on his 4th inning here. Pitch outside corner, evens the count up at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Good job placing that corner on the outside by Joey Canterbury. Got Gerace to freeze, and Canterbury would love to sit down this inning and get out number 3 and move Chapmanville back at the bat.
Pitch swung on and hit by the first baseman Farley. Coming around third to score will be John McCoy, as right fielder Lucas Price had difficulty with the ball, but McCoy was running the entire way and will score on the RBI off the bat of Gerace, a run-scoring single. Man cuts the lead to 6-1.
And that's good hitting there for Cam Drace. Like we said, he can get some RBIs and he can try to get that spark. Now that man has cut into this 6-0 lead, they feel like they can work some magic now. And we got a courtesy runner. Cantrell is coming in to run for the catcher. Now Compton, who started this game on the mound, can he get some base hits here to try to keep this inning and rally going for man?
Compton, the batter, 0 for 1, flew out to right field in his only at bat in the third inning. And in an 0-1 hole is a throw over, nothing doing as Cantrell dives back in safely.
And even though Cantrell is a young freshman for the Man Hillbillies, he's got some legs, and he's got one of the most 3 unique pitching styles for a Hillbillies pitcher.
Pitch popped up in front of the plate, and Talon Thompson will make the catch actually in the right-hand hitter's batter's box and retire Compton on the foul out. So man gets a run on one hit, and they leave a runner stranded. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. Chapmanville leads man 6-1. This is Chapmanville Tigers baseball on Video Productions and WVOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station.
Find new roads and go anywhere this year in a new Chevy from Thornhill GM Superstore. It's Sydney and Chevy truck season has arrived with available 0% APR for 36 months on new Chevy Silverado, plus 120-day payment deferral. Get your Chevy at Thornhill.
Enjoying life and all it has to offer is easier when you're healthy. For decades, Logan Regional Medical Center has been providing personal, compassionate care close to home. Our trusted team of primary care providers with offices in Chapmanville, Holden, and Logan are committed to improving life and health in this community we all love. That's why we're here. Logan Regional Medical Center.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich is the combination of the warm, soft bun against this delicious piece of chicken. The bun is just this soft little hug around the chicken that's so perfect in every bite.
It's 1. Chapmanville leads man, and Luke Knight, Talon Thompson, Brody Dalton, 1, 2, 3 in the Tigers lineup. Due up for the Tigers in bottom of the fourth. Luke Knight behind in the count 0-2 after he attempted to bunt and was unsuccessful on the first attempt and fouls the 0-1 off, and now he fouls the 0-2 off to remain alive in the count.
And Luke Knight has the ability to put one into the gap. And Knight, even if he gets a grounder, he can still beat out a throw with his legs. He's just that talented.
Pitch, little dribbler back to the mound. Gibson Fields throws over to first in time to retire the speedy Knight. And one away in the bottom half of the fourth for the Tigers. Talon Thompson, the batter, 0 for 1. Fly out short in the second inning and a fly out to left field that brought home the first run of the game for Chapmanville.
And this will be a big opportunity for Talon Thompson to try to build onto this Chapmanville lead. And Thompson, we know he can put one into the gap, and Thompson's just looking for that one pitch he likes to, so he can hit it.
Pitch swung on to hit foul at third base side, 0-1 the count. to Talon Thompson.
And Bill, one thing you got to love about Talon Thompson, he's only a sophomore. So Chapmanville's got him for the next 2 years. He's going to be a reliable player for the Chapmanville Tigers to try and break through in hopefully his sophomore season, if not his junior and senior season.
Pitch is inside for a ball 1-1 to count to Thompson. And pitch on the way from Gibson outside 2-1 now the count. Yeah, Thompson, he hit 400 last year, and he's hitting right around 400 this year. Came into the contest actually hitting 407. So Thompson off to a very good start in his Chapmanville Tiger career, and that pitch upstairs 3-1 now the count.
And Talon Thompson, all he wants to do is just get on base and hit the ball. He's doing a great job for the Tigers doing that, and having him on base, if he can get on with a walk, will just set up perfect opportunity with Brody Dalton behind him.
Ooh, 3-1, and the pitch is inside. Thompson ducks out of the way and will trot down to first base with a base on balls. That is the second walk issued by Hunter Gibson, and now Brody Dalton, the batter.
And we had a little announcement that some headlights are being on in the outfield, so the right fielder for
Colton
Miller is going to go out there and tell him to turn the lights off, as Brody Dalton, the way he done in the first inning, he basically can hit the lights out, as what he did back in the first inning against Braden Compton. He'd love to do it now and to add on to this Chapmanville lead, as Dalton is one of those just star players in Logan County that they will miss.
Dalton swings, sends a drive into deep left field, and Daniel, that ball must have Energizer batteries in it because it just kept going and going on out of the ballpark. Second home run for Brody Dalton, and Chapmanville now leads 8-1.
Bill, what else can you say about this young senior? What I just mentioned, he can hit the lights out. He literally almost did. That ball was deep and gone. That's why I don't park close here at Ted Ellis Field, because we know these Chapmanville batters can hit the ball and hit them deep. And Brody Dalton just did it there for the second time in this ball game. As Bill, what more can you ask for the senior shortstop for the Chapmanville Tigers, who is going to trade in his black and orange for the navy blue and gold next year at West Virginia University. They're going to have a very special young man coming up there in Morgantown.
Trey Butcher, the batter. Butcher is 0 for 1. Grounded out to the first baseman back in the second inning and walked and scored in the first. And takes a pitch in dirt, 1-0 the count.
And now that Brody Dalton hit his second home run, Trey Butcher loved to get a base hit here and try to add on, just try to do more damage in this inning, as Gibson just needs to settle in and just work these Chapmanville batters like he has been doing since he's came into the ball game.
2-0 now the count to Butcher, as Chapmanville cleanup hitter looking to get aboard here for Andrew Farley. That pitch is upstairs for a ball, 3-0. Didn't miss by much on that 2-0 pitch, Daniel.
Nope, didn't miss. It barely. It was so close you couldn't even tell from our vantage point. But 3-0 pitch. See what Butcher can do.
Butcher swings and puts a charge into one into right field. Right fielder Colton Miller with a leaping catch out in right field for out number 2. Nice play by Miller, and an even better job of tracking that ball off the bat.
That was impressive by Colton Miller. That ball had double written all over it, and Colton Miller just done a Superman-like jump to grab that ball and to save extra base for Trey Butcher. Now Farley comes up to the bat, and he wants to join the home run party that Brody Dalton has started.
Farley swings, pops one up into right field. Miller, very busy in this inning, will make the catch out there in right field to end the fourth inning for Chapmanville. But the Tigers play 2 more runs on the 2-run home run off the bat of Brody Dalton and leave no runners left on base. 4 innings complete. Chapmanville leads man 8-1. This is Chapmanville Tigers baseball on Video Productions and WVOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station.
Oh, good.
Here at the Cracker Barrel, home-style food and great value go hand in hand, with favorites like slow-simmered chicken and dumplings starting at $7.99, or perfectly golden fluffy buttermilk pancakes with your own bottle of warm syrup. Come fill up on favorites without emptying your wallet. Cracker Barrel. Take care now.
Fall and spring with more power, more dirt, and big wheels during Ram Truck Month. It's all here on the Thornhill Motor Mile at Thornhill CDJR. We've got a great selection of new Ram 1500 model trucks, plus custom Sherrod and Rocky Ridge options. Spring into your new Ram truck from Thornhill.
Top of the fifth inning from Ted Ellis Field in Chapmanville, 8-1. Chapmanville leads man as Hunter Gibson, the pitcher, leads off for the Hillbillies. And he is quickly in an 0-2 hole as that pitch swung on, 0-1 pitch swung on and fouled off Gibson in the box.
Yeah, fouled off Gibson and it hit I think it hit his foot, and we saw that. I saw that down at Logan against Shady Spring. Slack hit one off of his foot. He was grimacing from that. That's one of the worst places I felt to get hit is right on your toes with that fastball just coming at you. But Hunter Gibson, he's shaking it off. He's trying to step in here with a 0-2 count and try to deliver something. But after the 2-run home run from Brody Dalton back in the bottom of the fourth, kind of put a little bit of now you would say a stronger grip on this ball game, as we thought man was going to try to chip in, but Brody Dalton denied him on that one.
Gibson swings and he hits a pitch in left field for a single past the third baseman and the shortstop, and fielded it as Luke Knight to get it back in to hold Gibson to a single.
And that is the third hit for the man Hillbillies. Now Jace Atkins stepping into the plate in his last at-bat, Bill. He got that big double that broke up the no-hit bid for Joey Canterbury in the fourth inning. Third inning. I lost Jace Atkins on my play card.
Pitch in the dirt gets by the catcher, as that's another wild pitch, and moving to second base will be Gibson. As I don't really know man has a courtesy runner that they could use. Landon Cantrell is running for the catcher. He ran back in the fourth inning. Man with a very thin roster, only 14, 15 players on the roster. I don't know if they have anybody that could necessarily run for Gibson, and the 1-0 taken for a called strike, 1-1 to count.
Yeah, just unfortunate this year. Man's limited on number of players in this season, but still with the players that they have, man is still putting together a really good season, and they're just trying to capitalize on it.
Pitch called ball, 2-1 to count. I was got a little bit ahead of myself. Thought the count was already 2-0, but it was 1-1. So pitch taken for a ball. As I was looking at the number of wild pitches thus far for Canterbury, and he's now at 4 wild pitches. As 2-1 on the way is upstairs for a ball, 3-1. Daniel, that 2-1 pitch didn't miss by much. It had me fooled.
Nope, but I'll tell you what, this umpire has been consistent with that call right there. He's done a good job making it and staying with it and being consistent.
3-1 is in the dirt. Good stop by Talon Thompson to prevent a fifth wild pitch. And now runners at first and second, nobody out. And we'll see if Man can do anything with it. But before Colton Miller can bat, we get a visit to the mound.
Yep, and this is the second time in this contest that Man has 2 runners on base with no outs. No, this is the first time. I looked wrong in my scorecard again. I got to get this fixed right now. But nonetheless, first time Man has 2 runners on with no outs, and Colton Miller, who's known to lay down some bunts and to beat out throws with his legs, maybe this would be a good opportunity probably to move the runners over. As John McCoy, he's 0 for 1 today, with a strikeout. But McCoy, we've known he moved up to that forward spot for a reason. He can put the barrel to the ball, and he can hit one deep. And he can get some base hits here and try to score in those runs. But I think this would be a strategic play for lay down a bunt for Colton Miller. But maybe Colton Miller wants to get a hit. So who knows what Mike Crosby and Jack Daniels has up their sleeve with Colton Miller coming up to bat right now.
Always trust your instincts.
I do. I always trust my instincts.
Always trust your instincts.
I always do.
This is the second time Man has had 2 runners aboard.
Second time, okay.
The first time was back in the 3rd inning when Jace Atkins singled with 2 outs, and Colton Miller followed with the walk, and now Man has the top 2 batters in the lineup on base. And if Miller does bunt, it may be just to protect against the double play and bringing the heavy lumber up behind, or I shouldn't say lumber, it's a major league term. They're not using wood bats, these aluminum bats, bringing up the heavy metal behind him in Thompson, McCoy, and Messer. But that pitch, bunt attempt, fouled, 0-1 to count. Canterbury Leering by the bunt attempt. That's a perfect placement as the third baseman Moore gets over Fields, throws just in time to get a speedy Miller, and Man was an eyelash away from having the bases loaded with 1 out. Or with nobody out, excuse me, but as instead, it's a sacrifice 5-3, 1 away.
And that was almost there. Bill, I always trust my instinct. The reason why I do is because of the way I look with my choices of diet. But other than that, Bo Thompson's now to the plate. I kind of jumped ahead of myself. I said McCoy, Thompson. Thompson has the big bat right now, as he's got some home runs this season, and he can put one into the gap and blow this game, get this game back into reach for Man.
Pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0 the count as Talon Thompson tries to frame the pitch, but it's just too far outside to be framed. So 1-0, 1 out to count to Thompson, who's 0 for 2, fly out short and a fly out to left. If he can get a fly ball in the outfield, it could drive home a run. That pitch swung on and hit at third base. Moore fields and throws over. It will drive in a run, as coming in to score will be Hunter Gibson, and now Man cuts into that 7-run deficit. They now trail 8-2.
They cut into the lead, and the good opportunity there to get another runner in is now at the plate for Man with John McCoy and Jace Atkins at third. McCoy, what I mentioned, just like what Bo Thompson can do, he can put one in, hit the ball good, and get these runs in for Man.
First pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0 the count, as McCoy is 0 for 1. He struck out in the second and walked and scored on Cam DeRace's RBI single back in the fourth. Pitch number 90 on the way in the dirt, 2 balls, no strikes, the count.
And Bill, with the graduation of John McCoy and Jace Atkins, Man's going to have to find some new hitters. But I know Man's always got a good program, a baseball program that can build new players. And that's what happened with Jace Atkins and McCoy through their careers. They were young players, and they come build up, and now they're in the situation they are now due to the development and growth.
2-0s upstairs for a ball, 3-0 the count. Got to imagine that McCoy may be taken here unless he gets a pitch that looks pretty good to him. That pitch in the dirt, and as ball forward, and Man now has runners at the corner with 2 outs. Braxton Messer, the center fielder, 0 for 1. With a foul out to the catcher back in the fourth and a walk back in the second. And that walk is walk number 6 issued by Canterbury. He's now at 92 pitches.
And Josh Rakes is going to go the limit with Joey Canterbury in this contest, and they'd love for Canterbury to finish out this game and try to get the third out in this inning.
Pitch is in the dirt, 1-0 the count is good block by Talon Thompson to keep it in front of him and prevent to prevent the ball from getting to the backstop. That would allow Agans to score from third. Canterbury set at the belt. Pitch on the way is inside for a called strike. 1-1 the count.
Good placement by Canterbury to paint the outside of that strike zone towards Messer. Got him to freeze. Messer jumped off. He tried to get that call for a ball, but nope. Umpire said strike. See if Canterbury can get 2 more and get out of this inning.
Pitch in the dirt. 2-1 now the count as Canterbury threw his 95th pitch. And there is action down in the Chapmanville Tigers bullpen. Can't quite make out who it is. Could be.
I think it's A.J. Motto.
Could be A.J. Motto as that pitch swung on, hit short. Dalton fields and goes across to second, or take the short route to second base to Surgoin to retire the Hillbillies in the top half of the 5th inning, but not before man plates a run on 1 hit. They leave 2 runners stranded in the 5th. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. The Chapmanville Tigers lead the Man High School Hillbillies 8-2. This is Chapmanville Tigers baseball on Video Productions and WVOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station.
Medical emergencies are never expected. They just happen. And when they do, it's critical to know that the
But again, it goes back to just how close these two teams may be. As back when I played, we didn't have the technology.
Bill, I think we had a bathroom break.
We didn't. I didn't. We didn't have the technology that we got today.
Yeah.
That we were able to communicate back and forth with a lot of our opponents, and it really makes things easier to communicate. So a lot of these kids have Facebook. A lot of these opponents and county rivals, they have Facebook as well. Everybody seems to have everybody on Facebook, and these kids play on travel ball teams together as well. And back when I played, we had Legion ball.
Yep. And that's all. Just summer ball in Logan County has been popular around this area. As you've seen all these kids come together. Yep, they on the field they may not like each other due to rivalries, but they're good friends off the field. As these kids these young student athletes stay in touch with each other. Even if one team beats another, they still stay each other. And we got the home plate umpire back. I think he had a little bit of a pit stop on his way after that, I think a 1-0 count to Eli Surgoin.
Yeah, it is 1-0. So that pitch, the 1-0 pitch prior to Surgoin did not count as the umpire called time. And
no, it's 0-1.
Russian is 1-0 or 1.
I thought he called
I think
strong.
we got.
I think he called strong. I looked at it, and then when I saw him point,
we're going to get a discussion between between the two umpires. I thought it was 1-0 because I never saw a signal from him on the first pitch. So you just presume that it's a ball if he didn't he didn't give a signal. He didn't check his swing or swing at the pitch. So looks like it is going to be a 1-1 count instead of.
Yeah, we was wondering because I saw him make. I did look at him make the point, but then when he pointed, I saw him take off to that spot. So I don't know what happened.
Yeah, that's what had me confused. Because I thought maybe he was trying to call time before the pitch, as the 1-1's in the dirt, gets away from the catcher, and Topping moves up to third base as he slides in safely ahead of the throw of Gerace. So Chapmanville with the runner on third, counting now 2 balls and 1 strike.
And with 2 outs, Eli Surgoin would love to have a 2-out base hit here to bring home Topping to add on to the Chapmanville lead. As if Surgoin can get on base, we move the lineup back to the top of the order with Luke Knight, a dangerous hitter for Chapmanville. If Surgoin gets on, Luke Knight could add on some insurances. He's known to rip doubles, triples, and even some home runs in this season.
So Topping moves up to third on the wild pitch, and the 2-1 from Gibson to Surgoin is taken for ball 3-1 now the count. As the rain starts to pick up and umbrellas and a few ponchos there, and now pitch swung on and hit past John McCoy, who was playing up on the grass, and that will be a single for Surgoin and his second RBI. So Surgoin 2 for 3, 2 singles, 2 RBIs.
And that's why Surgoin is there at the 9-hole spot, because he can get something going in that situation. And he does. He gets on with a RBI single. Now Luke Knight come to the plate, and Luke Knight can get on bases. His first at bat, he got a single, and that started things for Chapmanville. And Bill, we know Luke Knight is one of those dangerous leadoff men, probably one of the best leadoff men in this entire state.
So Surgoin's RBI single makes it 9-2, and Surgoin takes off on the pitch as Knight shows bunt, pulls back, takes a ball, and Surgoin will have a stolen base. So runner in scoring position for Luke Knight, looking for his second hit, but first RBI.
And I'll tell you what's impressive with Luke Knight. Luke Knight can show bunt, and then it looks like he's bunting, but then he can pull that bunt back and rip it right back up the middle. I've seen him done it about 3 times this year. Luke Knight has that talent to do so for Chapmanville.
Pitch swung on, hit down the right field line. It will be fair, and it will drive in Surgoin to make it 10-2. Knight is around first, on his way to second. He makes the turn. He's heading for third, and Knight will be in there sliding with a triple and an RBI, his first of the night, second hit of the night for Luke Knight as well. No pun intended, but, a lot of Knight references in there for Luke Knight.
Luke Knight, here's another preference. Luke Knight said good night to that ball as he sent that one to right field. and now he's in scoring position. He just basically traded positions with he just basically did his job for Chapmanville. Just he traded positions for what Topping had back in this inning. Now he's 90 feet away from the plate, and another dangerous hitter, Talon Thompson's at the plate.
Pitch is upstairs for a ball to Thompson, 1-0 the count. Thompson's got some pop in that bat. He has the ability to put one out of here and end this contest, as he is the 12th run at the plate for the Tigers. And if he can reach base and score, Chapmanville will 10-run the Hillbillies, as we are in the bottom of the 5th inning. 10-run rule is in effect if the Tigers can score 2 more. And Thompson ahead in the count, 2-0 as he takes a pitch in the dirt. 2-0 from Gibson on the way, and that will be a called strike at the letters, 2-1 the count.
Pretty pitch there for Hunter Gibson. And now, Bill, you got to think, if Talon Thompson gets on base and Brody Dalton's coming to the plate, what do you do for man? As Brody Dalton hit 2 home runs this game.
Good question. As Thompson swings and misses at the 2-1, 2-2 the count. We may have to pause that. We may have to ask that question in the bottom of the 6th inning if Thompson doesn't reach, and that pitch is upstairs. The count runs full to 3 balls, 2 strikes. We're 1 pitch away from that question being answered, as Brody Dalton in the on-deck circle, 2 for 3 with a pair of home runs and 3 RBIs. Pitch is swung on a miss, and man, Thompson. Luckily, Luke Knight wasn't getting his lead off the base, or that could have been dangerous, as Thompson comes up on swinging and a miss, strike 3, and a little bit of weather down there in wet conditions. I'm sure the rain played into Thompson losing the bat there. So Chapmanville plates 2 more runs in the 5th inning on 3 hits. They leave a runner stranded. 5 innings in the books. Chapmanville leads man 10-2. This is Chapmanville Tigers baseball on Video Productions and WBOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station.
Hi there.
At Logan Regional Medical Center, our comprehensive inpatient rehabilitation program helps get you back to living life. With an 8-bed unit for patients 18 and over, our caring team of doctors, nurses, and rehabilitation specialists work with you, providing a full line of services to help you restore your capabilities and get you back home and back to living. Logan Regional Medical Center, providing inpatient rehabilitation close to home.
Good gravy. The kind made from real.
Top of the 6th inning from a rainy Ted Ellis Field in Chapmanville, West Virginia. Chapmanville Tigers, number 3 in Class AA, lead the number 7 Class Single A man Hillbillies 10-2. And new pitcher on the mound for the Chapmanville Tigers. And Daniel, for the first time this year, Brody Dalton will take the mound.
Allow him to introduce himself, Brody Dalton. He's done it at the plate with his batting, and he's also a good catcher for the Chapmanville Tigers. We saw him catch some in the when him and Thompson just switched spots for a couple of while when Thompson was injured with a shoulder, so they moved him to the catcher's spot and moved Thompson to short. Now Brody Dalton's coming to the mound, his first appearance, and we've heard some stories that Brody can pitch. He just doesn't pitch a lot. And we're going to see as the rain is starting to come down now for here at Ted Ellis Field. Let's see what they can do in this wet condition.
Rain peltering against the window here in the press box of Ted Ellis Field. Now I know, looking out at the field, I know how NASCAR drivers feel in the rain now because this rain keeps hitting the windshield here, or window here, where, it's kind of affecting our view as the count is 1-1 to Caden Dickerson, who is 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have windshield wipers.
Well, don't have windshield wipers, and we don't have as that pitch is grounded to third, and
Whoa.
that one will get away. We'll have to see how long this goes on. And I imagine Luke Knight, the third baseman, fielded that ball, and it just got away from him on the errant throw. We'll see how long the umpires let this continue. If this rain keeps getting heavier and heavier, we get into a situation like we did at Roderick Gertz Field between Logan and Tug Valley the other night.
Yeah, this is not looking good right now. You never see Luke Knight overthrow the big 6'5" Andrew Farley like that, and that just shows you the condition of the game and how it is. And let's just, like you said, we're going to see how long these umpires can keep with it.
Pitch swung on and fouled off by Cam DeRace, 0-1 to count. As DeRace is 1 for 2. RBI single back in the fourth and fly out center field back in the second. And just, as we said, that Daniel rain looks like it's lightening up some. As you look at one side, the third base side, the puddles are not as heavy, but you look over here at the first base side, and the puddle on that dugout keeps getting heavier and heavier as you watch the rain falls. And that pitch taken for a ball, 1-1 to count.
Yeah, rain is, it's like it can't make up its mind if it wants to be heavy or small right now, but they're still playing in it, so it can't be that bad.
Pitch is called strike 1-2 the count to Cam DeRace as the Tigers lead the Hillbillies 10-2. This is an official game. We do have 5 innings in the books as DeRace asks for time. It's not granted time, and pitch is a ball 2-2 the count. And if this game was to be called because of weather, Chapmanville would be the 10-2 winner. And the game would be called after 5 complete innings. Now, we'll get to the point here in seconds. That pitch swung on, hit back to second. Good job by the second baseman, Eli Surgoin, to dive to one knee and pop up and throw out DeRace 4-3 on the putout. But the point that I was about to make, Daniel, is if this was a softball game this week or a baseball game next week, sectional tournament play, there is no such thing as a completed game after 5 innings. The game would be suspended and finished the next day. It has to go 7 innings tournament time. Regular season, it can be called after 5 innings. As that pitch swung on and missed by Braden Compton, 0-1 to count. Compton 0 for 2, fly out to right and a foul out to the catcher.
Yeah, I got a story about the innings in tournament time as we'll get it on after this pitch. But actually, we'll get it now as that ball went past Talon Thompson on that pitch from Brody Dalton. But I've seen a game where it actually went about 7 innings with 2 outs on the board. Rain comes down heavy. It was my freshman year. They called the game, and they literally bring it back with a 2-1 count to a Logan softball pitcher, and she popped it out. Game was over.
Pitch on the way in the dirt, 2-1 count. Yeah, it's kind of something similar that happened back in 2009. Man and Mate won in a Class A regional game. That pitch is in the dirt, 3-1. Tie ball game in the bottom of the 7th inning. Mate won. Pitch was a called strike, actually. 2-2 the count. It says 2-2 on its way. Swung on a miss by Compton, and that is the first strikeout of the year for Brody Dalton, and out number 2. But anyway, the game was stopped with a man with runners on second and third And mate one pretty much had to get the bus, come over for 2 pitches, game over, single off the right field fence to score the winning run.
Yep, this type of weather is just weird, especially when baseball, you got to have dry conditions. It's not like a football. You can play in the wet conditions. In soccer, in baseball, you have to have dry conditions.
Hunter Gibson, batter, takes strike one, fouls off the second pitch, 0-2 the count with 2 outs to Hunter Gibson as the rain continues to fall at Ted Ellis Field. And the pitch on the way, that will hit Gibson, and Brody Dalton looked like he might have lost his footing on the mound.
He did. The umpire is going out there to check on or give him a ball, maybe check on that mound to see what it'll look like, as we saw that situation happen at Roger Eggers Field against Logan and Tug Valley. The Logan crew was doing their best to keep that mound dry and keep it tough, but the umpires just deemed it was just not playable, so they had to call it after the second inning, with that game still being suspended 7-0. It looks like that game won't be finished, as Logan doesn't have enough days with Tug Valley to make up that game.
Pitch to Jace Aggins as a called strike, 0-1 the count to Aggins, who is 1 for 1. A double in the third. He also walked in the first and the 5th inning. So he's been on base all 3 plate appearances. And that pitch is a called strike, 0-2 the count, as I look through the rain-soaked window here. Visibility is
It's
getting
not
to be
favorite.
a little factor for me. I can only imagine what it's like down there on the field, as that pitch is grounded foul at the third base side, 0-2 the count. And
Well, Bill, and if everyone's wondering home, you might have that one person like, well, why don't you just open the window to look? Well, the rain and the wind.
We don't let no rain come in
No,
here. And,
no way.
Not only our equipment, WVOW, but Video Productions equipment. As pitch is in the dirt and runner takes off for second base, and Gibson will reach base safely. That will be a stolen base, as he was moving on the pitch.
And good awareness to do so. Talon Thompson, he knows the wet conditions. He didn't want to make a rip to second base and have that ball get away from him. So right now with 2 outs, he'd love Brody Dalton to strike out Atkins.
And he does just that with a beautiful breaking ball that freezes Jace Aggins on the inside part of the plate. Well, man threatens but does not score as they leave 2 runners on base. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Your score, Chapmanville 10, Man 2. This is Chapmanville Tigers baseball on Video Productions and WVOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station. Sixth inning, Chapmanville leading man 10-2. Brody Dalton, the batter for the Tigers, 2 home runs. Can he hit 3 as Hunter Gibson on to work relief? He has so far worked 4 and a third inning. He came on with 2 outs in the first inning in relief of Braden Compton, and he is behind in the count to Dalton 3-0.
And we might see a walk here to Brody Dalton as the.
Well, do you think he's got the green light if it's anywhere near?
Yes, he does. Right on cue.
Yeah, he had a good rip at that one and just got out in front of it. Otherwise, I don't know. That may have been home run number 3.
Yeah, if you got 2 home runs on the day and even a 3-0 count, yeah, you still got the green light. I figured Brody Dalton was like, well, if I just got an easy play.
Why not? I mean, he handles the bat well. That pitch swung on and hit down the right field line, and it will get out of play. So 3-2 the count is to Brody Dalton, as that one there was a rocket foul. That might have been the hardest hit ball of the evening for Dalton. And pitch swung on, popped up. Might have got a little anxious on that one. Right fielder Colton Miller, I think he lost it at first. Comes in, makes a fantastic catch, sliding to his knees, and that is out number 1. That was a very difficult play. As you know, I was tracking Miller the entire time. That ball came off the bat, Daniel, and he, threw his hands up like he may have lost it at first, and then he tracked it at the last second and came in and has to make a sliding catch.
I'll tell you what, as my experience in the outfield, I know when it's raining and those raindrops are coming out and you're looking up in the air, it can hit your eyes and it could make you blind for just a couple of seconds, and you can lose the ball. Luckily, Miller was able to retrack it and make the grab for out number 1. If not, Brody Dalton could have been standing on third.
Trey Butcher, the batter, takes a pitch outside for a ball. 0-1 to count. Butcher 0 for 2 with the fly out to right field back in the 4th. He grounded out the first and the second and walked and scored back in the first as the pitch swung on a foul out of play. 1-1 the count. I mean, Daniel, raindrops is one thing, but, thank goodness it's not snow.
Yeah. Yeah, thank goodness it's not snow. If we see snow, I mean, my dad's always told me story. I seen snow in July, but I'm just glad we're not seeing snow in May. And luckily we can just able to get these games in and just have a good baseball season.
Pitch in the dirt, 2-1 now the count. That's funny that your dad should say that, because with this unpredictable weather that we've had, I'm still waiting on that 4th of July snowstorm.
Yep, I am waiting on that too, and it ain't the fireworks that you're expecting. It's going to be the snow works coming out.
That'd be one way to melt the snow as Butcher swings and laps one down the left field line. Aggins and the third baseman give chase. I believe we got Landon Cantrell in the game at third base now, and neither one of them will reach it as it drops foul. So 2-2 the count.
Yeah, it's just out of the reach for both of them. As this game, the rain just looks like it. The rain is the rain's still staying the same. I thought it looked like the rain may have dropped off a little bit, but still, nonetheless, 2-2 count to Trey Butcher. He just like to join the hit parade today for the Chapmanville Tigers, as he hasn't got a hit today.
And he takes the pitch outside the ball. 3-2 the count, and Butcher is one pitch away from walking for the second time. Pitch on the way is outside for ball 4, and that is base on balls, as the batter will be Andrew Farley, who has the potential in this game with one swing. Daniel?
Yep, one swing we've always known. I've always said when Andrew Farley comes to the plate, the sirens go on, as it's those are warning sirens that a ball might be coming your way, either in the outfield or back behind him, as Farley has the potential to end this game with one swing of the bat.
Pitch is inside. Didn't miss by much, but it is a ball. 1-0 the count, as Farley held his ground, didn't back away from the plate, and Gibson just missed on the first offering. So 1-0. Pitch on the way is in the dirt. Good stop by the catcher, DeRace, and count now 2-0.
2-0, and with only one out, DeRace can't afford to have the ball go behind him and put the runner in scoring position. But still, like we mentioned, Andrew Farley with one swing of the bat can end this game.
And the 2-0 is taken for a called strike. 2-1 to count, as the rain now is probably the heaviest that we've seen, but seems to be coming straight down instead of blowing in on the windows here at the press box. We do or we can see as that pitch is in the dirt and moving up to second base is Butcher.
And Drace held on to that. He didn't want to make a wild throw there as Butcher was going to get in there safe. As Drace had lost that ball on that bounced ball that got away from him. But still, with 3-1, I still don't see the red light on. I still see green light for Andrew Farley.
And the pitch is inside for a ball. And Farley will take his base, and he's on for the second time this evening as Farley remains 1 for 3. That's the first time that he's walked tonight, as that is now the 4th walk, if I'm looking at my score sheet right. 4th walk issued by Hunter Gibson. And the batter, Joey Canterbury. Canterbury will look at a pitch in the dirt for a ball. 1-0 the count. Canterbury, 1 for 3. He had a RBI double back in the first, struck out in the third, and flew out to left in the fifth. 1-0, 1 out. Runners at first and second for Chapmanville. Pitch on the way. Swung on a miss by Canterbury. 1-1 to count. Healthy rip on that swing by Canterbury.
Yeah, and Canterbury, what he did with that RBI double, he can do it again. And if he does that, Bill, I would assume that's going to score Farley from first as well as Butcher from second. And that will be game over here for Chapmanville as they're looking for that 12th run.
Pitch is in the dirt, and it'll kick away, and the runners will move up to second and third on the wild pitch, as now a base hit could potentially end the game and give Chapmanville a 10-run victory.
Yep, and Canterbury would love to do it, have a walk-off win against the walk-off game-ending win against the Hillbillies and move Chapmanville one step closer into the sectionals. And they got some tough schedules coming up after this game, so it doesn't get any easier for Chapmanville, but that's why Josh Rake scheduled these opponents.
Pitch swung on a miss by Canterbury as Gibson gets him to chase one that may have been up and out of the zone. 2-2 the count now to Canterbury. Man has to get out of this inning without 2 runs scoring if they have a chance in the 7th inning. They trail 10-2. Gibson's 2-2, swung on, hit between third and short. Thompson will field. He'll not have a play, as coming in to score on the infield single will be Trey Butcher. That's RBI number 2, hit number 2 for Canterbury tonight.
And Canterbury does what Chapmanville wanted, what Coach Josh Rakes wanted. He moved the runners over. He got a base hit, and Bo Thompson didn't want to have to make a wild throw over to first, as Canterbury looked like he was going to beat it out. Now Jacob Topping's come to the plate, and Jacob Topping has had himself a day. He is 2 for 2 with 2 doubles and 2 RBIs on the day.
And he swings and misses at the first pitch. 0-1 to count. A base hit will end the game. A potential wild pitch or pass ball to the backstop could end the game as well, as the Tigers are 1 run away. And that pitch swung on, hit the first. The throw's coming home, and not in time, as that will be an RBI ground out, as Caden Dickerson fielded the grounder, stepped on the bag, came home to try to get Farley, who was trying to score from third, and his throw chased the catcher, Cam DeRace, up the line, allowing Farley to slide in safely with the 12th run. That will end this game by the 10-run rule. Chapmanville wins it over Man 12-2. We'll be back in 2 minutes to recap it and set the stage for our next broadcast. As you've been watching or listening to Chapmanville Tigers baseball on Video Productions and WVOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station.
Dr. Philip Gallopon, MD, has
BK $6 your way deal for a limited time. It's a royal still. Burger, fries, and chicken fries all your way for a feast on the budget. Head to BK. BK, have it your way.
Find new roads and go anywhere this year in a new Chevy from Thornhill GM Superstore. It's Sydney and Chevy truck season has arrived with available 0% APR for 36 months on new Chevy Silverado, plus 120-day payment deferral. Get your Chevy at Thornhill.
At Logan Regional Medical Center, our comprehensive inpatient rehabilitation program helps get you back to living life. With an 8-bed unit for patients 18 and over, our caring team of doctors, nurses, and rehabilitation specialists work with you, providing a full line of services to help you restore your capabilities and get you back home and back to living. Logan Regional Medical Center, providing inpatient rehabilitation close to home.
Adventure is blooming with every new Jeep model. Tag yours with Thornhill CDJR during the Jeep Celebration event. Now with up to 10 grand off new 2022 Jeep Gladiator or great APR offers to finance your next adventure. Spring is here at Thornhill CDJR's Jeep Celebration event.
That matter most. And their gift baskets are legendary. Check out their Facebook page, Family Flowers Gifts WV.
Welcome back to Ted Ellis Field as try to maneuver around all the courts and get the headsets back on to bring you back into bring you back into our post-game coverage now as Chapmanville is victorious over the Man High School Hillbillies 12-2 in 6 innings.
And it all started in that first inning where Chapmanville played it 6 runs in that inning, and they never looked back. As Bill, it all started with a Luke Knight single, and then Brody Dalton with a solo home run to make that one when he hit that home run off of Compton, it blew the game open for Chapmanville, and they played it 4 more runs right after that. They literally batted around with Luke Knight having to bat twice in that top of the first inning, and then Chapmanville, you would say, they coasted when Hunter Gibson came into the play. Chapmanville kind of coasted in, and then they finish it off here in the 6th inning to win by the final of 12-2. And Bill, Chapmanville, after those back-to-back heartbreaking losses to your county rivals of Logan and then to the Nitro Wildcats, coming in here and stunning the Chapmanville Tigers and then barely escaping Charleston Catholic, they're now getting back on the right track as hitting the ball as they were absolutely just destroying the ball today, and all due to Brody Dalton's two home runs on the day. He has some shots on those, and Chapmanville's picking up where they left off back during that 14-game winning streak, and they like to carry the momentum into the sectional tournament time as they're going to be facing some tough teams with Logan, Logan Scott, and even a Wayne team that has Chapmanville's number in the last season, Bill. That Wayne team was the team that knocked out these Chapmanville Tigers, and Chapmanville wants to make it farther than in sectional play with going 0-2.
Well, we saw that Wayne team here at the Daffer Memorial Tournament, and that's a team, they can hit the ball.
They can.
They may not have the pitching that a Logan or a Chapmanville or even a Scott has, but they have bats in that lineup, and we saw them against Scott jump out to an early lead, and Scott just kept chipping away before they eventually came back and won the contest. But they will put the bat on the ball. Chapmanville, when they were in the midst of that 14-game winning streak, went out Wayne to take on the Pioneers, and Chapmanville got off to a hot start, but Wayne came storming back, had a 6-5 lead in the 3rd inning when the game was stopped due to rain and had to be completed the next week at right here at Ted Ellis Field on Saturday morning before Wayne's game with Scott in the Daffer Memorial Tournament. And that game, the completion of that game was very exciting. It was filled with a lot of drama in the 7th inning, but I won't elaborate on that. But still, that's a team that can put the bat on the ball regardless of who you run out there. If your pitcher is not on top of his game, Wayne will make you pay, and they have the ability with that offense, as you mentioned, to knock off a Chapmanville or a Logan or a Scott and play spoiler in this Class AA Region 4 Section 2.
Yep, Wayne was one game away from playing spoilers for the Scott Skyhawks last year. As if I remember, Wayne actually jumped out on Scott early, then Scott settled in, and they ended up winning the game. And it all had to do with Scott's bat. What they had with Luke Knight was on the team, and then they had a lot of seniors from last year. Carrico and Martin also pitched in. Then you had Knoll and Miller. I mean, Scott team was very good last year. Went the distance into the sectional championship game with Logan. Logan didn't lose a sectional game last year and in the tournament, and it proved there how dominant Logan was last season. But like you said, Wayne, they can be a team that can spoil a team's parade in sectionals. Look what happened to Chapmanville last year. And Chapmanville, I can tell they've had that in the back of their mind. Chapmanville felt like in 2021 when they went to the sectional championship, lost to Logan in 2021. They felt like they can get back there and maybe even beat Logan. And Wayne spoiled it. And so Chapmanville's taking that to heart, and that's what Jock Rakes is saying, is that, guys, if you're not playing your A game, you're not hitting the ball, you will get beat, and your season will end in a snap of a finger. And that's what happened last season. Chapmanville's got a good game plan. Their hitting has gotten much improved from the past 2 seasons, with 1 through 9 hitting the ball very well for the Chapmanville Tigers. And they're looking to carry that momentum, which I would assume now they are the number 1 seed. Sectional seedings hasn't come out yet official, but I would assume Chapmanville is the number 1 seed in the section, where they can have home field advantage throughout the sectional tournament here at Ted Ellis Field. And deal with a very tough section with Logan, Scott, even Wayne. And back in a couple years ago, Mingo Central pulled off a stunning upset against the Logan Wildcats, stunned everybody. I remember that one well, too. I mean, and it's not, Logan didn't play bad. Well, Logan kind of did play bad, but Mingo Central, you couldn't have asked for a more perfect game from their, I can't remember the pitcher. His name's escaping me. I think it's Deskins or something. He pitched a great game in a 2-1 victory over Logan in 2019. So you can't sleep on Mingo Central as well, as they can pull off the upset too, as this section is not given for anybody in this section.
Well, I want to go back to one of our broadcasts a couple of weeks ago when you brought up a point about the best hitting team not to win the state championship. You brought up the Scott Skyhawks, Carter Lyles.
That's whenever I seen them. I might have been wrong, but I know they could hit the ball.
That was a good team.
That was a very good team.
That was a good team. They, I believe they got knocked off in the state semifinals.
They did.
Of a game that they led, and I think that might have been actually an 8 or 9 inning game. But
it was.
That was 2019, I believe.
Yep, that was 2019. Carter Lyles was a starting pitcher. He went the distance. They brought him out. They moved him to third. He hasn't been there all game. And when he went in there, he made an error throw, and then the left fielder dropped it, and Frankfurt capitalized with a 3-2 victory over Scott that game.
Go back to 2018. Wayne Pioneer team
yes.
that had Bridgeport. Looked like they were going to 10-run Bridgeport in the state championship.
Yep.
And Bridgeport comes back and wins, I think it was like an 18-17 slugfest.
It was a 17-15 game, and that game got stopped because of the rain. Wayne was up, and then the rain hit. They stopped it, then they continued it, and I guess after that rain break, Bridgeport just turned it on.
And you know who was on that Wayne team, don't you?
I do think so. I do remember who. I remember a lot of those.
There was a pair of brothers. One of them happens to be
was a senior.
One of them happens to be, if I'm not mistaken, one of them.
I know who they are.
One of them happened to go to Spring Valley and is an offensive lineman at WVU.
Wyatt Milam. Wyatt, the big Wyatt Milam.
Little brother that was bigger than the big brother.
And
he could, let me tell you something, folks, he could smash the ball. And he was just as good pitching as a lefty, man. He got it up there. He really brought it up there in speed. And that was, one that got away. And, I've got a lot of buddies out Wayne as, we always talk, you don't go to Wayne, you go out Wayne, for my... our friends out there, one of them I just happened to be talking to today, Ryan Epplin, does a lot of the PA for Wayne Pioneer Athletics and is, a videographer, I guess you could call it, WSAZ, in Huntington. Went to Marshall with him, Sean Ross, Grant Traylor, a lot of guys from Wayne that, I call, real good friends and still have, a lot of close ties to and, talk to every now and then. But that team was stacked and loaded, and how they didn't derail Bridgeport is, and again, Mother Nature probably had a lot to do with it because you sit around and wait a little bit and wait, and that kind of ruins things when you got momentum on your side. It allows the opposition to think, and once things start to happen the opposition's way, it kind of snowballs. But anyway, the game tonight, Chapmanville wins at 12-2. The running totals for the Chapmanville Tigers: 12 runs, 12 hits, 1 error, 5 runners left on base, 4 man, 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, 7 runners left on base. Joey Canterbury, the winner tonight for the Chapmanville Tigers, as he pitched 5 innings, Daniel. I guess you could say I guess a good way to put it would be he maybe laid them through 5 innings. Even though he gave up the 3 hits, he had the walk issues and high pitch count that really prevented him from possibly getting a 6-inning complete game here. But he runs his record to 4-0. Braden Compton, the loser tonight, he lasted just 2/3 of an inning, gave up 6 runs in the first inning. His record falls to 1-2. 2 home runs, number 2 and number 3 on the season from Brody Dalton, as the Hillbillies are in action tomorrow. Of course, weather permitting. Weather don't look, again, we go through this, weather don't look too promising, but, we've said that before, and we've got these games in. So, Man will host a doubleheader with Mingo Central, and Chapmanville is at Herbert Hoover on Wednesday. Final thoughts tonight, Daniel?
Well, first for Man, they got a bounce back from after this loss to your county rivals from Chapmanville. Chapmanville, again, put up 12 runs against the Man Hillbillies. Again, first outing was 12-6. Now tonight is 12-2 as Chapmanville got off to that hot start. Not like what happened in the first meeting where they got off, they scored some runs, then Man answered back, and then Chapmanville hit. All it took was a home run to blow the games open for Chapmanville against Man, just like what happened down there happened tonight with Brody Dalton. So Man's just got to put that behind them. They know they can be. They're the 1 seed in this section. They've beaten all the competition besides 2, Van and Buffalo, and they beat them pretty good with Sherman. They beat them 3 times in the season. They've beaten a Tug Valley team already in the sectionals. So, Man, you just got to take sectionals one game at a time. Try to, get these guys ready as the pitching depth is starting to get there for Man. Mike Crosby's showing some pitchers that we haven't seen. We saw Landon Control pitch for the first time down at Logan. Now we're seeing Hunter Gibson on the mound. John McCoy can also pitch for the Hillbillies. So he's trying to find some other arms just in case his normal 4 rotation can't produce for right now. And so far, he's doing a good job of finding of what he has with a limited talented roster. So he's trying to find out what he could take into the sectionals and work with it. For Chapmanville, after you suffered your 2 back-to-back heartbreaking losses, you're starting to get back on track going into the sectionals. You need to keep building the momentum going into the sectionals. As I said it before, and I'll keep saying it again, that section is tough. That could be a state tournament for most of the teams around. That whole region could be a state tournament, as all teams in that in the section 4 region 4 section 1, is tough with Winfield, Sissonville, Nitro, Point Pleasant. They're all tough, and then the section with Chapmanville, Logan, and Scott, and even Wayne is tough too. So Chapmanville's just got to build momentum now, getting back into their winning ways, and they've done so far tonight against Manville. And we got a very interesting sectional coming up next week in Region 4.
Well, a couple of broadcasting notes for you. First, we'll start with, Chapmanville Tigers. Chapmanville Tigers Baseball and Video Productions' next broadcast will be Thursday here from Ted Ellis Field against the Miners of Mingo Central. Chapmanville will host George Washington out of Class AAA on Friday. Myself and Daniel will be with you Friday on the call with Video Productions and WVOW. As for our next radio broadcast of high school baseball, you don't have to wait long. It's tomorrow from William 2D Carter Field in Man, West Virginia. And again, it's a doubleheader, and we thought since it was a doubleheader and we won't be there, why not bring you both games on our airwaves, as we haven't necessarily determined the how it's going to go tomorrow, but I will be on the play-by-play of one game, Daniel on color of one game, and then whether it's game 1 or game 2, we will switch roles, and Daniel will make his play-by-play broadcasting debut on WVOW, and I will step into the color analyst role. This was supposed to happen last Thursday, but Mother Nature really
threw us a big curveball.
Threw us a curveball, and it just come out of nowhere. We wasn't expecting no rain.
Nope.
I mean, we was expecting it Friday, and all of a sudden it hits right before game time. But again, that's a doubleheader tomorrow from William Tootie Carter Field. Game 1 starting at 5 o'clock. Our pregame coverage will start at 4:50, and the second game will follow roughly about 15 to 20 minutes after that one, and we will have it for you on WVOW. But as tonight, that concludes our broadcast from Ted Ellis Field. Once again, Chapmanville defeats Man by a final score of 12-2. Before we sign off the air tonight, I'd like to thank some people that made this broadcast possible for you tonight. First off, our video productions producer, Sydney Mayo, once again, magna cum laude graduate of the Marshall University School of Nursing. We congratulate her and wish her the best in her future endeavors in the nursing field. Our cameraman, Robbie Mounts, who braved the elements, fought through the wind, the rain, all the foul balls that come up his way to protect the cameras and give you all the video footage that you saw here tonight. And a special thanks to our studio engineer, Seth Eastat, back in the WVOW studios. And, of course, got to thank my broadcast partner, Daniel Miller, for providing all the color analysts tonight of tonight's contest, as that will do it for us. I'm Bill Lusk saying thank you for watching Chapmanville Tigers baseball on video productions or listening to Chapmanville Tigers baseball on WVOW. And we hope you can join us tomorrow from William Tootie Carter Field when Man hosts Mingo Central in a doubleheader. Again, you've been watching Chapmanville Tigers baseball on video productions or listening to Chapmanville Tigers baseball on WVOW, Logan, West Virginia's premier sports station. Good night and safe travels.